touch the clouds. Whoa, oh, 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 oh.
Good evening and welcome to Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au. Stu Rich and Mike Wood here for the Race Guide as we have a look at another massive day of racing at Randwick. Day one of the championships was last week. We are on to day two, if it can get any better. I tell you how it can get better, Mike. These two are ADDEYBB and VERRY ELLEEGANT. They're going into their fourth bout and they're going to come out swinging again.
They've run the Quinella 3 times in a row, haven't they? The best in New Zealand, the best of Australia, the best import of ADDEYBB.
Yep.
But he doesn't get his wet tracks. So it's going to be an interesting race on Saturday.
It is. And before we get in depth, Mike, you mentioned last time, you sort of questioned that weight for age mark over the 2,000 metres between the Aussies/Kiwis and the Europeans. Are you going to change your mind this week?
I think I was on the radio saying it was Group 3 level form with Australia and she won. I love seeing a progressive horse. She's fantastic. But I don't think ADDEYBB was at his best, was he?
Oh, no. He's got a length to make up.
We'll find out.
He might be able to do that on Saturday. All right, plenty of other big racing on the day, Mike. But the weather, we've had a little bit of a scare with a chance of a shower on Saturday.
Not too much. So the rail's out 3 metres. Coolish Friday, Saturday after a warm Thursday. Just 0 to 2 mils maybe on Saturday. It has to be a good 4, doesn't it, Stu?
Beautiful. That's what I want to be betting on.
Surely.
That's the sort of track I want day 2 championships. All right, now look at these races as we have a look at them all. Group 1's race 7, 8 and 9. Of course, we're talking about the Sydney Cup. The Oaks in there as well. How good's this? Fantastic
card, but a very difficult card. The bookies are across most of these fields. We're starting off with the Oaks, the Kiwi versus the Australians. Well, who's going to win there? Then straight into the features, a fantastic arrow field. Sydney Cup's wide open. The showdown, the Queen Elizabeth. The Queen of the Turf's a great race as well.
Wow, we are just going to go straight into it. Race number 5 of Group 1. We're going to go straight into the Oaks. This is going to be a very interesting race.
Not a bad first race.
So have a look at the market here. And, of course, Harmony Rose went hard in the lead there in the Vinery before being run down by Hungry Heart. Looks to map well, again, on pace here. $3.40, though, so short enough. Montefilia, $4.80, backing up a week later after running up the inside there for 4th in the Derby against the boys. Amaralina, the Kiwi, crossing the ditch here, $5. Brilliant turn of foot, spices up the race here, coming off her New Zealand Oaks win and 28 days into this. Hungry Heart at $5 there. We know this horse will be charging late. And then out to Bargain, which ran on well in that race won by Duis last week, and out to Impecunious at $16. Harmony Rose, Mike, it's going to be up there for a long, long way. How far can she go?
Tough on pacer. When the bias was on at Rosehill in the Vinery Stakes, the money came, understandably. But maybe she just went a little bit hard. Definitely she went a little bit hard. But she's a tough type, so it wasn't a terrible way to ride her. She got a big, big gap. You thought she was home, but Hungry Heart, the only horse to settle 2 wide all day, which basically means there was a red-hot rails bias of Rosehill that day. She came to the outside. They are all plodding over the final 100 metres, but Hungry Heart plotted best.
Yeah, something you're going to see in the race guide, isn't it? Of course, those video comments, Mike, the only one you say to charge out of the pack, but the biggest query here, an extra 400 metres, who's that going to suit?
I'm not sure about either of them. They're all walking. The third horse making some ground, but maybe she had a chance. She was back on the inside too.
Yeah, a couple of links to make up there, of course. Impecunious. What about this Kiwi girl, Mike? Amaralina coming across. We're going to go have a look here back in 13th of February. Of course, this was Group 2 level, 2,000 metres importantly. This is a horse that does have a turn of foot.
Yeah, she's unit number 5,000 on the Savabeel O'Reilly cross. And
how good.
This is the last time she was on a dry track. She was held up, she got to the outside. And the thing this Kiwi filly has got is dry track, explosive speed and sprint. She puts them away in 100 metres. I know she was only just won her next 2 starts, but they were softish tracks and she was ridden like the best horse.
Yeah, OK, not often you see these Kiwis that love the dry tracks, but this could be one of them, and the key factors are going to show us how much she does enjoy it. So let's have a look now as we run our little mini race for the Oaks, top right-hand side of the screen here, Mike. But for the form, well, we saw Montefilia go around last start, and Hungry Heart, that was a good win.
So hard to split these top 4. The Kiwi form ratings are not dominant. The top 4, I think the race is between them. OK, so we've got the 4 favourites here. We'll see how far they go. And here goes Amaralina straight away, track distance and conditions. Just back to that 3 starts to go, the explosive dry track speed. The dry track on Saturday, she'll love it.
OK, OK, the speed map, only the 10 runners, so we're not playing that too much here.
No, the grey gets a lead on her own though, Harmony Rose.
OK, so it's Amarylina out by a length from Hungry Heart, Montefilia and Harmony Rose there, Mike. And of course, as we always look at with the 3-year-olds progression.
Yeah, we've seen Montefilia and Hungry Heart before together. Montefilia maybe just has the wood on her, the backup suits well. OK,
so we said it might be a race for the market. We've got exactly that with Amarylina out in front, Montefilia dives late, so they are two of the favourites and the other two right there as well, just a length behind. So when it comes to punting here, Mike, we've got a well-supported favourite here in Harmony Rose. Hungry Heart, $5. Amarylina, $5. Montefilia, $4.80. There is not much between them in the prices, and there's not much between them in the key factors.
No, we can tie them as well as Montefilia, similar to Hungry Heart, similar to Harmony Rose from last start.
True.
So if you're having a punt, win only, there is only one way to go. Take the Kiwi form, take the punt, $5 with the best turn of foot. I think she can win on Saturday. All
right, good to see her out here. Good luck to all connections there in the Oaks, which takes us now to race number 6. It is the Arrowfield Sprint over the 1,200 metres at Group 2 level, and September Run is the favourite. $3.30, a huge run in the William Reid when well back versus the bias that day. Back to 3-year-old class, obviously suits here. Isotope, the Queenslander, in good form, $3.70, closed strongly there, fresh at Rose Hill, and looks a real winner. Wild Ruler, can't forget about him, $6.50, held his ground in the Galaxy. In, let's say, a bunch finish there behind Eduardo. We've got Rocketing By at $11. Prague, big run in the Newmarket, beating home September Run there. And then out to Dame Giselle, another one that probably likes the dry tracks at $12 here, Mike. But September Run, OK, the questions are out. All the form, there's its best form up the straight.
Up the straight, and we're going to have a look at a straight run that I know she was blocked, but she was also beaten in the Newmarket. This is a couple of starts for her, and last start for Prague. Prague came to the outside. Amish Boy, that clump of horses on the inside just must have been in a travelator. I don't know what happened there, but they finished the top 3 or 4. And Amish Boy ran well, but he was flogged by Aim to start before. Prague gets to the outside, gets more clear room than most, but he was still good. In September Run, she was blocked, but I think at best she finishes alongside Prague.
Yeah, well, it is such a track pattern here, isn't it, Mike? I mean, so often you see when it's come down the outside there, Prague, it wasn't winning this day, but you say...
And it just beat Swats that, which is what September Run seems to always do, just beat Swats that.
It does, doesn't it? They do have some sort of match-up. Now, what about Isotope? This horse is absolutely flying, Mike. Queenslanders this time of year, we can always embrace them, can't we?
Yeah, I think the stable liked her on a soft track first up, and she relished it. She was just inside runners. You can tell she was not sure where to go. The horse was looking for a run herself. She's so genuine. She wants to win. She gets to the outside. She was very heavily back. She got the win. Yes. She's a length and a half off Rothfire at her best. She's top draw, and she has to be the top rate on Saturday.
Yeah, in a handful of some of those great Queensland sprinters that come down for all the New South Wales riches right in this race. Let's have a look now at all the key factors here to see where we're going to be playing in the Arrowfield Sprint. And we'll look at that September Run. You don't have to look any further for form.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Maybe we've been a bit kind to her. But she did come wide in a Group 1, so we'll light up September Run. OK, well, it can't go any further ahead. Can the others catch up? Well, that tells me a few of them can. What's the risk for September Run? Coming to Sydney last time she came to Randwick, she was beaten easily by Dame Giselle.
OK, so Dame Giselle and Prague levelling up there with September Run. Now, the speed map here, Mike, we've got 10 runners.
Yeah, big track, enough tempo. We should be OK.
OK, so we're going to go through that. Still the 3 of these on top. And as always, Mike, progression.
I'm surprised Isotope isn't clearly on top, but she does have upside second up.
Oh, wow. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. 4 of the 5 favourites have just hit the line together.
Can we change that? Can we change that?
How did Wild Ruler miss out? Oh, geez, all these across the line. We've got some sort of race here. Race number 6. All right, let's weigh this up. That tells me 320 is too short, 380 is probably too short. You're going for value here, aren't you, mate?
Well, I think so, yeah. Isotope form times in away game, which ties in James Giselle, who's much better than away game. So if you are going for roughies, Prague and Dame Giselle are the 2, but Isotope, I am terrified of it, and I won't be losing on her on Saturday. I
think we're pretty much saying that's an open race there, but Dame Giselle there for us in the Arrowfield Sprint. Right, we're 2 down for the big day 2 of the championships. Plenty more action coming your way after the break. Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by theRaceGuide.com.au as we continue our look at day 2 of the championships at Royal Randwick this weekend, and we keep sliding into the Group 1 races. Now we've got the Sydney Cup over the 3,200 metres and the Mannion Cup and Tancred Stakes form everywhere throughout this betting. So let's have a look. Favourite Moon on top, $5.50, the travelling companion for ADDEYBB, and that's good enough for him to win in the Manion. Realm of Flowers, $6, was wide throughout in that race. Damien Thornton sticks here. We've got Southern France very well supported into $7. Ran on OK, went sharply to 2,400 metres there in the Tancred. She's Ideal, $7.50, a huge rise in grade to Group 1 level in the Tancred when it ran on well as well. We've got Miami Bound, $9.50, another one that stayed on well in the same race. And out to Spirit Ridge at $11. Looks set for this all along after another solid on-pace effort rolling along there in the Tancred. We've only covered half the field here, Mike, but they're all coming through the same races. So let's have a look at this replay.
Let's have a look at the two favourites in one go. The Manion Cup, Favourite Moon. Look, I know horses usually progress first to second up, but he was shining in the yard. Yes. And we know these Europeans can do this first up, can be absolutely fit and perfect. I think he was at just about his top, and obviously he ran well. But Realm of Flowers is the run of the race. Clearly, 3 wide, no cover the whole way. Should have won by 2. Sacramento, not bad on a wet track. Hush Rider prefers it dry. And Celino winding up late. He's so one pace, but dry track 3,200 metres is what this horse needs. OK, so a few punters talking about maybe forgiving this sort of ride on Realm of Flowers. And well, you raised a question there. Second up these European horses in Australia. Yeah, boy, he might go OK, but he was pretty fit first up. OK, let's have a look at the other lead up here. Of course, we're talking about the Tancred. We had Spirit Ridge there enough on pace. We've got She's Ideal, Miami Bound running on. We've got Southern France really well supported here on Saturday. And then a couple of others out the back. Mike, take us through this. Was this a Group 1 race or was this a pretend Group 1 race? Sir Dragonet smashed them. And in behind we're talking about She's Ideal, Miami Bound. They were OK. Spirit Ridge solid. Read the bias in his favour. Southern France OK out wide. Chapada peaked like he does. The Chosen One, a forgive run after being wide, but he's up in the weights. And Sound was hopeless. Chiro, even the horse coming last, you can make a case for. He's turned around his form before and he's won the Sydney Cup before as well. Yeah, all right. Well, look, so many things to take out of those two races here on Saturday. It is an open race. That is one thing we do know. 3,200 metres, the ultimate staying test in Sydney. Let's have a look at the form here now. Let's light them up. Yeah, I didn't know what to do with that Group 1 Tancred Stakes form, but we've gone that way a bit. And Realm of Flowers, like I said, should have won last start. We're giving her a couple of length kicker there. OK, so we've got plenty there with gold. And interesting, the Favourite Moon, has got a lot of ground to make up, as does Southern France, but a little bit of gold there for the favourite track distance conditions. There is only one key factor tonight. Realm of Flowers should eat up the 2 miles. She's Ideal OK. Everyone denies has been there before and come and run fourth. The Chosen Run likes it, and Celino gets a big kicker too. He should eat up the 2 miles. He won by 10 lengths over 3,800, I think. Wow, OK, so it can stay. You've got to have the speed map. We're just going straight through that over 3,200. All purple, and again, progression. OK, progression here. We're going to go straight through that as well. So we're pretty much saying here, Mike, that Realm of Flowers got out to a 1-length lead. We'll imagine it does that late in the race because that's the way it's going to play out. She's Ideal's right there, Rondanella's right there, a whole host of them in behind. But the most important thing I'm seeing there is the Favourite Moon and Southern France. They didn't make up any ground on the others. No, Southern France was OK last up, but I don't quite get the hype. I mean, the stable's flying over a distance, so third up he could do something. It's a very open race and the confidence is low, so I'm going for horses I know will smash the line over 2 miles. Realm of Flowers, she is such a genuine stayer and she deserves to win a Sydney Cup after the form leading in. And Celino, dry track, 3,200 metres, ideal for him. OK, you want those horses that can stay the trip. They're the two for us there in the Sydney Cup, which takes us to the feature of the day, race number 8. It is the Queen Elizabeth Stakes. 2,000 metres, just a lazy $4 million here, up for grabs at Wait for Age. It's a match race that's been building ever since they did battle in this last year when ADDEYBB proved too strong. Some of the best 2,000 metre horses in the world, but it's Very Elegant, $2.40, all class our mare, and we know she's got a huge heart. ADDEYBB there, $2.90, gets on pace. It's going to fight till the death, we know that. Sir Dragonet, $6.50. They were too strong for him in the Randwick. And of course, Mugger 2, $7.50 on the backup from his solid fourth in the Doncaster only last week. Out to Moonga. You'd think this would be a step too far, but what are we going to look at here, Mike? These two horses, they're great. Let's have a look at some Quinellas, Stu. They've run 3 Quinellas. We'll have a look at a couple, starting with the Randwick this year. James Mack talked about the fact that he pressed the button too early last year when ADDEYBB came back and got her. This time he just stalked her, kitted to her a little bit, got up to the outside and just powered home. She was too good first up on that Chloe track, or first up for him. but he does improve second up.
One thing these two horses do is bring the crowd to their feet. The atmosphere at Rosehill this day was absolutely electric, and it's only going to be the same there on Saturday, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting, but Very Elegant at her top, just beat the Angel of Truth by a couple of lengths. ADDEYBB at his top, I think, beats him by 4 or 5.
Okay, he's got improvement there. We do know that, and we know what he can do. So let's wind the clock back 1 year to the day, and of course, it is ADDEYBB that got the victory this day, Mike, but Very Elegant, she tried again as always. I mean, what can we expect Saturday? Is there a different pattern in the run? Obviously, Dave's going to go to the lead this weekend, we think?
Well, we think so, yeah. So different, though. He had his pacemaker last year. Galo Chap rolled along. Dave had the inside run. He had his soft ground. He had everything go his way. And with a genuine tempo and a soft track, he is simply lengths better than Very Elegant at his best. But dry track leading, he might have to quicken. I just don't know how Tommy Mark 1's going to do it.
Yeah, that was a dominant victory. The more and more you look at it, okay, let's see which way we're going to go. All the punters around Australia, they've pretty much been picking one of two horses here for just a few months. But for the form, we're going to give the nod to Very Elegant.
Sleepless nights heading into this one for form analysts. Everyone's got their bets on the line. Very Elegant, yeah, when you saw the replay, she beat him.
Yep, and it's going to have to turn the tables at ADDEYBB. Can it catch up here, track distance and conditions?
It's a weight for age clash for the lifetime, but they're all wet trackers. Milgatu doesn't mind a dry track, and 2,000 metres is better. Mwanga loves the 2,000 compared to the mile, but he was flat last week, wasn't he?
He sure was. So there's 4 horses there. They are the 4 favourites. Now the speed map here. So you've mentioned it a couple of times.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to do anything in terms of key factors, but you can imagine ADDEYBB rolling and maybe Sir Dragonet Milgatu getting a nice trail in behind.
Okay, all right. This is probably the key then, Mike, progression. Does the English star have enough to get over the top of Very Elegant?
I think he does, but there is a big T, capital T for think. I just don't know, Stu.
All right, well, ADDEYBB did lift late there in the ratings. It won by a length from Very Elegant. Hopefully that can be the grandstand finish for many punters on the weekend. But, well, let's bring the prices in now. $2.90, $2.40. They are the standouts. It looks as though the others are running for a place, Mike. Where are we going?
It's all up to Tommy now, up to the horse as well, obviously, but he should be fit second up. And Tommy, don't go too slow because you'll get out sprinted. Don't go too fast because they'll run you down. If he times it right, he's the best horse in this race for sure. Yep. And Milgatu could get the inside run as well.
Okay, so a nice ride there from Tommy. What a race it's going to be there, the Queen Elizabeth. Let's look now to race number 9. It just keeps getting better. Another Group 1, the Queen of the Turf Stakes over the mile for the fillies and mares. And Probable, I should say, looks so well suited here. $2.50. Obviously, you're at weight for age. Forget the All-Star Mile Run in the wet. We know this horse is better on the dry, and we know this horse absolutely loves Randwick. Odium on the second line there, $6. Made a good one in Isotope work to beat her over the 1,200 metres. Now stepping straight out to the mile. Colette, $7.50. Well, is this horse's best form in the wet? We're pretty sure it is. Nimmerly, $12. Enjoyed the gun run in winning last start. And then out to Vangelic at $15. But Probable, Mike, a lot of people have got this as one of their bankers for the weekend, and $2.50. So we're taking short odds, but we know she's good.
She's very good. Some random replays. We're going back in time to a couple of Group 1 mile races to line up these 2 favourites. Starting with the Epsom handicap, Probable. Dry track, loves it. Near pace, loves it. And she was 3 wide, no cover, and still beat them. Colette on a dry track, I don't think she can beat her if she's anywhere near her best. And importantly, Vanagil's out the back in the blue and white running on. She'll give us another form reference in a second. Okay, so we know Probable's come back well after this. I mean, Colette, Mike, that horse has come back, what people are saying, a bigger and better horse as well. So how do we weigh that up? Yeah, if it's soft, she sprints well. But if it's dry, I just don't think so. That Rosehill 1,900 metre form is not good enough. Okay, all right, there's Probable just extending away there in the time-honoured Epsom handicap. Well, let's have a look at one of the Melbourne visitors now, of course in Odium, but it did have the Sydney experience last start. We're looking at a race here over the Flemington Carnival last year, the Empire Rose, over the 1,600 metres, Mike. And, well, does this fill you with a bit of confidence what this horse can do? Yeah, Odium's very tough, and obviously it's trained at Caulfield, won its Group 1 at Caulfield, came to Flemington, 3 wide no cover from the 600 metres, fought so hard, but It was a blanket finish. The form lines are very questionable out of it, and Vanna Girl got so much closer to her than she got to Probabeel. I think that form reference is 2, 3, maybe 4 lengths lower.
Yeah, OK, so we've used the reference there through Vanna Girl. Love how you can do that in all your form guides there over the Spring Carnival. But we've got a big finish here coming up. The Queen of the Turf Stakes, Mike, and Colette. Well, as we said, this horse has come back. It's been bouting with Very Elegant and even beat that horse. It's come back well.
Yeah, solid form. Probabeel coming off a flat run. We've done some magic with the key factors. It'll all balance itself out in the end.
They're all starting right there in the middle, and here we go.
Boom.
All right, track distance conditions. There's only one horse that just lit it all up there by a few lengths.
Now we are getting Probabeel to her right rating, which is 3 lengths better than the rest, I think.
All right, we had to find a way to get her there. That pretty much was it. What about the speed map here? Any queries?
I think they're okay. The fact that Probabeel can sit 3 wide, no cover, and still be so tough only gives you confidence.
Yeah, true. We've seen that before. And progression here, Mike, not there for the favourite, but a bit there for Odium.
The only risk in this race, 2 risks in this race, Probabeel doesn't turn up deep into her prep, and Odium shows stacks of progression third up. That's the risk for the favourite. OK, but the favourite went out early there, Probabeel, by a few lengths. Odium just getting within a few lengths late, but it says to us that Probabeel looks to be a bet here in race number 9, and the punters, well, they've got to decide if that $2.50 is going to hold up, because the money seems to be just coming for it. What price can you see this horse starting? Well, it's a hard one, isn't it? Because on ratings, probably 2 or 3 lengths clear, maybe you say 3.50, but the fact that she produces those ratings so consistently, the fact that she gets near pace and she's so tough, maybe closer to 2.20. Probabeel's the bet for us. She gets near pace. She's just too tough. If she parades well, I'll be doubling my bet. Odium, the only one that can beat her, I think. Looks like a nice anchor for a few multis there on the day on Saturday. Well, there's a look at 5 big races for us. Plenty more still to come after the break, including our $100 hot seat for day 2 of the championships. Well, welcome back to Key Factors, presented by theRaceGuide.com.au. We have just had a look at 5 of the better races. You will see, including the Queen Elizabeth, what a race it's going to be, what a race day it's going to be, day 2 of the championships this weekend, Mike. But the card, we only looked at half of it. Of course, 10 races as there were last week. What do you got your eye on early, mate? A nice little $1.95 to kickstart the day. Why not? Home Track Hero over the mile. What about Bot Stable so tough? Maybe Kukaracha can dance a bit better, 2 stone lighter at $16. Great news, wide barrier. Bad news, but she's still flying. Crystal Bound, what a big debut win that was. Amaralina, the Kiwi with a big turn of foot on a dry track. Dame Giselle, $11. Great each way. Odds Realm of Flowers will eat the 2 miles. ADDEYBB, I'm not going to say he's going to eat Very Elegant, but it'll be a great race. Probabeel 250, the best bet of the day. And California's
we're going again.
With the sun out, had the bias against last start. Back against the girls this time. OK, so a nice spread there in all the bets this weekend, Mike. But as we talk about the bets, $100 hot seat time. I think a lot of people are just going to be going out there to watch these 2 champions do battle there in the Queen Elizabeth. But if they're going to have a bet, if the punters have got $100 in the back of their pocket, where are they going to go? Looks like you're keeping it very tight here. You can sense the confidence on the Queen Elizabeth is low, and if Very Elegant wins, I'll still be happy, even though we've tipped against her. But 2 dry track Kiwi stars. Amaralina sprints like better than the rest of the fillies easily, and Probabeel, dry track hero on pace, very hard to beat. OK, so some nice odds there to dive into. $5 and $2.50 there for Probabeel as the best bet of the day. And a profit of $6. Oh, well, that'll be way more than that after we get through day 2 of the championships. Head to theRaceGuide.com.au for all your feature profiling. Whether you're out there just to cheer home those 2 champions or to back a few winners, good luck on the punt this weekend, and we'll see you again next week. Enjoy Champs Day 2.